Ramadan was here. The air was filled with joy. Little Zaid loved Ramadan. He loved the lights, the prayers, and the time with family. Most of all, he loved the lanterns. Each year his grandmother gave him a special lantern. "Zaid," his grandmother said, her voice soft as the evening breeze. "This lantern is not just for you. Let its light guide others too." Zaid took the lantern. He promised to make her proud. The night was filled with the sound of prayers. The air was serene and the atmosphere was imbued with a sense of peace and spirituality. The mosque stood tall, its minarets reaching for the stars, as the faithful gathered for the special Taraweeh prayers. The night sky was clear, and the stars twinkled brightly, as if they too were participating in the sacred night. Zaid walked home from the mosque, his heart still resonating with the recitations he had heard. The streets were quiet, and the only sound was the soft rustling of leaves in the gentle night breeze. The lantern he carried cast a warm, comforting glow, illuminating his path as he made his way through the tranquil neighborhood. He carried his lantern high. Its warm glow lit up the path, creating a serene and almost magical atmosphere. The light danced on the cobblestones, casting gentle shadows that seemed to move with him. Zaid felt a sense of contentment and peace, knowing that he was part of something much larger than himself. As he walked, he saw an old man in the distance. The man looked tired, his steps slow and labored. Zaid watched him for a moment, feeling a pang of empathy. The old man seemed to be struggling, and Zaid's heart went out to him. He was struggling to walk, each step appearing to take a great deal of effort. The dim light of the street lamps cast long shadows, making the old man's journey seem even more arduous. Zaid felt a warmth in his heart, a desire to help and make a difference. Zaid felt a warmth in his heart. It was a feeling of compassion and kindness, a reflection of the spirit of Ramadan that filled the air. He knew he couldn't just walk by without offering assistance. It was the warmth of Ramadan, a time of giving, sharing, and caring for others. Zaid's smile grew as he approached the old man, his lantern lighting the way. He felt a deep sense of purpose and connection to his faith and community. He went to the old man. "Can I help you?" he asked, his voice gentle and sincere. The old man looked up, surprised but grateful. His eyes softened, and a small smile appeared on his face. The old man smiled. He was grateful for Zaid's kindness. "Thank you, young man," he said, his voice filled with appreciation. Zaid felt a sense of fulfillment, knowing that he had made a difference in someone's life. The night of Taraweeh was not just about prayers, it was about embodying the true spirit of Ramadan through acts of kindness and compassion. Zaid invited the old man home. They shared Zaid's iftar meal. The dates tasted sweeter, the soup felt warmer. The old man ate with gratitude. He told stories of his life. Zaid listened with wide eyes. As the old man left, he placed a hand on Zaid's head. "May Allah bless you," he said. "You shared your blessings. You spread the light of Ramadan." Zaid felt happy. He knew he did something good. That night Zaid couldn't sleep. His mind was racing with thoughts and ideas. The words of the old man he had met earlier that day echoed in his head. "Spread the light of Ramadan," the old man had said, his eyes twinkling with wisdom and kindness. Zaid felt a sense of responsibility and excitement. He knew that this was not just a simple suggestion, but a mission, a calling that he had to fulfill. He tossed and turned in his bed, thinking about all the ways he could make a difference in his community. The night was quiet, but Zaid's mind was anything but. He felt a surge of energy and determination. He knew he had to act. He thought of the old man's words, "Spread the light of Ramadan." The phrase was simple, yet profound. It meant more than just lighting a lantern. It meant bringing hope, joy, and kindness to those around him. Zaid sat by the window, looking at the moonlit sky, and felt a deep connection to the world around him. He realized that every small act of kindness could make a big difference. He felt a sense of purpose and clarity. He knew what he had to do. He knew what he had to do. With a determined heart, Zaid got out of bed and quietly prepared to leave the house. He didn't want to wake his family, so he moved silently, gathering a few items he thought might be useful. He felt a sense of adventure and anticipation. This was his mission, and he was ready to take it on. He stepped out into the cool night air, feeling a sense of freedom and purpose. The world was quiet, but Zaid's heart was full of excitement. Every night, Zaid found a new way to help. He started by looking around his neighborhood, noticing the small things that needed attention. He picked up litter, helped neighbors with their chores, and offered a helping hand wherever it was needed. Each act of kindness, no matter how small, made a difference. Zaid felt a sense of fulfillment and joy. He realized that spreading the light of Ramadan was not just about grand gestures, but about the little things that brought happiness to others. He shared his food with the hungry. Zaid remembered the old man's words and decided to share his meals with those who had none. He packed extra food and went out to find those in need. The gratitude and smiles he received in return warmed his heart. He realized that food was not just nourishment for the body, but also for the soul. Each meal he shared was a step towards spreading the light of Ramadan. He carried water for the thirsty. Zaid knew that water was a precious resource, especially for those who had to travel long distances. He filled bottles of water and handed them out to travelers and those who were thirsty. The relief and gratitude in their eyes made him realize the importance of this simple act. He felt a deep sense of connection to the people he helped. Each bottle of water was a symbol of his commitment to spreading the light of Ramadan. He visited the sick and elderly. Zaid knew that many people in his community were lonely and in need of companionship. He made it a point to visit the sick and elderly, bringing them small gifts and spending time with them. The joy and gratitude they expressed made him realize the power of human connection. Each visit was a reminder that spreading the light of Ramadan was about more than just physical acts. It was about touching hearts and souls. Each act of kindness filled his heart with joy. Zaid felt a deep sense of satisfaction and happiness with each good deed he performed. He realized that the true essence of Ramadan was not just about fasting and prayer, but about spreading love and kindness. His heart felt lighter, and his spirit soared. He knew that he was making a difference, one act of kindness at a time. His lantern seemed to glow brighter with each good deed. Zaid carried a lantern with him as a symbol of his mission. With each act of kindness, the lantern seemed to shine brighter, reflecting the light he was spreading in the world. It was a reminder of the old man's words and the mission he had taken on. The lantern was not just a source of light, but a symbol of hope and kindness. Zaid was spreading the light of Ramadan. With each step he took, Zaid felt a sense of purpose and fulfillment. He knew that his actions were making a difference, and that he was living up to the old man's words. The light of his lantern illuminated the path ahead, guiding him on his mission of kindness. Zaid was not just spreading light. He was spreading hope, joy, and love, and in doing so, he was truly embodying the spirit of Ramadan. Section 5. A basket for the elderly neighbor. One day, Zaid saw his elderly neighbor. She was struggling with her groceries. Zaid quickly took her basket. "Let me help you," he said with a smile. The neighbor was surprised. She patted his hand warmly. "You remind me of my grandson," she chuckled. "Always so helpful." Zaid felt good. He knew he was making a difference. Section 6. Water for the thirsty traveler. Another day, Zaid was playing outside. He saw a tired traveler. The traveler looked thirsty. Zaid ran inside. He filled a cup with cold water. He brought it to the traveler. "Thank you," said the traveler, his voice raspy. "May Allah reward your kindness." Zaid smiled. It felt good to help. Section 7. The village awakens. Slowly, the village began to change. People noticed Zaid's kindness. They saw the light in his eyes. They felt the warmth of his spirit. They started to follow his example. They shared their food. They helped their neighbors. They forgave old grudges. The village was glowing with the light of Ramadan. It was the light of kindness, compassion, and love. Section 8. The light of Eid. Eid arrived. The village woke up to a beautiful sight. Lanterns were everywhere, they glowed on every doorstep, every windowsill. The village was bathed in a warm, inviting light. Zaid looked at the sea of lights. He remembered his grandmother's words, "Let its light guide others too." He had done it. He had spread the light of Ramadan. Section 9. The True Spirit of Ramadan. Ramadan, the holy month of fasting, prayer, and reflection, is a time when streets come alive with the glow of lanterns and hearts are filled with a sense of community and compassion. The essence of Ramadan goes beyond the physical act of fasting. It is about nurturing the soul and spreading kindness. His grandmother hugged him tight. The warmth of her embrace was a reminder of the love and unity that Ramadan brings to families. It is a time when generations come together sharing stories, wisdom, and the joy of being in each other's company. "Zaid," she whispered, "you have shown everyone the true light of Ramadan." Her words were not just a compliment but a lesson. The true light of Ramadan is not found in the lanterns that adorn our homes and streets, but in the actions that illuminate our hearts and the lives of those around us. She pointed to the lanterns. "These lanterns are beautiful," she said. "They symbolize the light that guides us through the darkness, much like the teachings of Ramadan guide us to be better individuals. But the true light comes from within. It is the light of compassion, empathy, and selflessness. During Ramadan, we are reminded to look within ourselves and find that light, to let it shine through our actions and interactions with others. It comes from kindness, sharing, and love." Zaid understood. He realized that the true spirit of Ramadan is about more than just rituals. It is about embodying the values of generosity and care in our daily lives. It comes from the simple acts of kindness, like sharing a meal with someone in need or offering a helping hand to a neighbor. These acts, though small, have the power to create a ripple effect, spreading light and warmth far and wide. Ramadan was not just about lanterns. It was about the light that we bring into the world through our actions. It was about the connections we build and the love we share. It was about spreading light, the light of hope, the light of kindness, and the light of unity. Each lantern lit during Ramadan is a symbol of these values, a beacon of the goodness that resides in each of us. It was about making the world a better place. Through our collective efforts, we can create a world that is more compassionate, more just, and more loving. Ramadan teaches us that every small act of kindness contributes to this greater good, one kind act at a time. Each gesture, no matter how small, adds to the light that dispels the darkness. This is the true spirit of Ramadan, a spirit that lives on in our hearts and actions throughout the year.